channel. As you can tell, this is my first video and I'm really excited. This is something that I wanted to do for so long and now I finally have time to do it. Last week I asked all my Instagram followers to ask me any question they want and I will answer any of those questions. And so I have those questions up on my iPad and I'm going to answer all of those questions. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to answer all of those questions and yeah, so let's jump right onto it. The first question is, what made me want to start a YouTube channel? Honestly, y'all, this goes way back to middle school because there was a time, if you've had a Snapchat that long, where they had like a little circle and they had like the seconds in the circle or something, you could see how long someone's Snapchat story was. And so I would be that person that would have like 500 seconds, 300 seconds, and my friends would be like, baby girl, who's gonna watch that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So I realized way back then that YouTube would probably be the best way for me to actually talk as much as I want to talk without having to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do it in 10 seconds or they're going to tap through and not watch it. So that was like the driving force. And then honestly, just school got in the way in high school and then college. And then now I have time. We're in the middle of quarantine. So I'm like, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So now that I have time, I'm like, why not? The second question is, where does my name or spelling of my name come from? And I'm assuming they're asking this because for those of you who don't know, my name is Alexis, but it's spelled with an I, so A-L-I-X-I-S. And the spelling actually, my dad, I don't know where he got his spelling from because I'm actually named after my dad. So it's he is A-L-I-X, and they just threw that I-S on there and just boom, Alexis. But I don't know, honestly, I don't know if it was just like a creativity thing, but it is pronounced like Alexis. Like people think, is it Alexis? It's Alexis. It's Alexis. What is my classification in college? I am a graduating senior and that's on period. Probably not gonna have no graduation because of Corona, but y'all, I'm getting that degree, okay? So come May 2020, I'm out of here. Do I or did I play any sports? Y'all know I was on a basketball team.
Girl, bye.
It's like, no, I don't play any sports. I don't know if this person meant in college or in high school. In high school, while y'all playing, I did play basketball actually not high school, middle school. I played basketball in middle school and I was a beast on the court. 4'10" and I was dribbling that ball, okay? What else? I did cheerleading in middle school. I did everything. I did tennis, I did golf, but my middle school was one of those schools where, for those of you who went to the same school as me, you know, the school was so small. Shout out to Rashad, best friend since middle school. Our 7th grade had literally 8 people. The entire 7th grade had 8 people, and the entire 8th grade had only 3 people. So it was a very small school, and it wasn't like, oh, you have to try out to be on the cheer squad, or you have to try out to be on a basketball team. If you wanted it, you did it. Like there was nothing more to it than that. Like, so obviously they put me on the basketball team. Now y'all, I said I was a beast on the court, but let me tell you, there was this one time, you know, I'm dribbling, boom, I shoot. Y'all, nobody was clapping. So I'm like, hold on now, what, baby, put y'all hands together, give it up. Like, I literally, nobody was clapping for me. Come to find out, I shot the basketball in the wrong hoop, y'all. Bruh. It was the opposite team, and I don't even know. I was like, my girl was like, Alexis, baby girl, what are you doing? Ever since then, I haven't been on the basketball team again. Where am I going to medical school? So I have to be very strategic on how I answer this question because not the person who asked me this, but just in general, not everybody always has your best interest at heart. Some people just want to know because they nosy and they don't really support you, but they just want to know, girl, guess where Alexis going to med school? Guess what? So to answer that, I'm going to tell you that I start in July, July or August, hopefully. Corona just passes over or something. But I've gotten accepted to a medical school and I am very content with my decision. I'm going where God leads me. And that's all I have to say about that. I mean, when the time comes, when y'all see me in my white coat, okay, Dr. Bay, just know, okay, you'll know then. But right now, I'm not. When I get there is when I will share that. Am I single or taken? Got a little boo, you know. It's like, no, let me stop playing. All jokes aside, y'all, I am single as all get out. Yeah, and I'm very content. Like I said, this is gonna be a whole nother video for a whole nother day because I can get really deep into this, but I am very content with where I am and what I call my season of singleness. in a very different space than I was about a year and a half ago. Like, I am very happy being by myself. I am able to spend this season, and even like this quarantine, getting to truly know who Alexis is and what she likes and what she doesn't like, and not just herself, but in potential partners, you know, being able to meet different guys and see their, you know, characteristics, good and bad, and seeing, you know, this is what I like in a guy and this is what I don't like. And so I am single, but I am content. Where do I see myself in 2 years and then in 10 years? In 2 years, I see myself crying because I got a medical school exam the next day. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to call it on myself. But I do see myself 2 years finishing my second year of medical school, or getting ready to finish my second year of medical school, and getting ready to do my clinical rotations. And so that's going to be a very exciting time for me. I'll probably be getting ready to take my step 1 exam. I don't know if I would have finished it by now, but either way, in 2 years I would have been done my second year of medical school and going on to clinical rotations, because I will be passing my boards maybe on the first time. And then in 10 years, you asked, 10 years I see myself happily married to a God-fearing man. I see myself with 1 child, or maybe 2. 10 years, I'll be what, 31? 1 child by then. I see myself having a clinical practice in underserved communities. Absolutely love serving in underserved communities. That's what I've done for all of my internships. And so I see myself having a practice in Tuskegee. If you don't know, I go to the one and only illustrious Tuskegee University, and I want to open a practice there. I don't know, just being there for 4 years, it was very different being in an atmosphere where there was a shortage of healthcare professionals. And so I think that, you know, as someone who graduated from there and is going to become a pediatrician, I feel like it's my duty to give back. And by doing that, I feel like that's my way of giving back to Tuskegee, opening a healthcare facility, whether it's a hospital or a private practice. But I definitely want to do that. And then also in Guyana, which is where my family's from, I want to open a practice there. The next question says, I need to keep bad habits. Do I have any bad habits? Whew. The first one that comes to mind, and I'm actually saying this out loud, it's like, you know, sometimes you think things, but you don't actually verbalize it. So for me, I would say pushing people away. I am very guarded, and part of that, you know, not to get too deep into anything, but I think my previous relationship has made me very guarded when it comes to not just relationships, but also friendships. And I'm very closed off. And so I think for me, it's very hard for me to open up and start new friendships. And so to prevent myself from potential disappointment or whatever it may be, I push people away because I don't want to get heartbroken. And heartbroken isn't just specific to romantic relationships, it's also for platonic relationships. And so I push people away, and I need to work on that. For me, I don't know if y'all know the scripture that says guard your heart above all else, for everything you do flows from it. And so for me, I think I've done that, but taken it a little too far, because I don't even let people in. Like, to me, I think guarding my heart is, oh, you can't let anyone in, Alexis, because you're going to get your feelings hurt, and they're going to disappoint you, or they're going to walk away. And I realize that, you know, in scripture, when God says guard your heart, it doesn't mean that you can't open yourself up to new friendships and new relationships. It just means that, you know, it's okay to let people in, and, you know, you get to know them and you see if their hearts are pure. And when you realize that maybe this person's intentions aren't pure, then you take a step back and you don't consider them a friend or whatever it is. But it's okay to let people in. And so that's something that I'm working on. Other bad habits, I'm trying to think. Shutting down. Yes, that is toxic. That is toxic, actually, y'all. I shut down. Like, if there's something that upsets me or hurts my feelings, I don't like talking about it. And most of my friends know this is something that I say. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I will shut down completely. And I think, you know, again, not to get too deep, but I think communication in my previous relationship is something that I struggled with. And so for me, that's not just in that relationship, but even in my friendships now, if there's something wrong, I don't, you know, communicate. And so that's something that I'm working on. I'm more mature now. And so I realize that if you want your friendships and your relationships to last, you have to be able to communicate effectively. And so that's something that I'm working on. Name some pet peeves. Y'all, let me tell y'all, there's people walking outside. So if you see me looking up every now and again, that's what I'm looking at. But pet peeves, I would say people who chew.
Cannot stand the sound of chewing.
To me, I'm being nosy. And they hold their hands, hold up, nah. Baby, they said quarantine ain't stopping no love story, okay? But I said chewing, smacking. I can't stand smacking. I cannot stand it. Y'all, there's no reason why people, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're on 10, bring your 10 to a 2 because you too turned up for your food. Like, I know you're not starving. There's no need for you to be that excited, okay? The most memorable place that I've traveled to. For me, I would say, I'm being really nosy and I think they see me. For me, he sees me. Oh my gosh. He probably thinks I'm talking about them. Okay, so for me, the most memorable place that I've traveled to, first I would say Santorini, Greece. I've been, I loved it there. I loved it. Shout out to my mom because she showed out with that trip. We went to Mykonos, Greece. We went to Santorini. I'll say Mykonos is number 2 for me. We went to Croatia. I've been there before. I loved it. The culture, the food, the peace that I felt being there. It was amazing. Number 4, I would say Grenada. And I absolutely, you know what? Honestly, Santorini and Grenada have to be top 2 because Grenada was just so peaceful. I got to travel there alone last Christmas, so Christmas of 2019, and I loved it. Like, the people were so kind, the food was amazing, the vibe, the culture, just everything. I loved it. Would I go back? Absolutely. Okay, so the next question is, what is my major and do I like college? My major is biology, pre-medicine with a minor in material science and engineering, and I love college. I love college. I love it. My experience got cut short, but it's one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I think I'm gonna like cry, but I'm gonna hold it together because like literally, y'all, it did get cut short, but I can't explain to you the number of lessons that I've learned in college, the amount of I've just learned so much. The opportunities that I've had. Tuskegee was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. The friendships that I've made, the relationships that I've formed, and not just, you know, the friends that I had, but the friends that I lost. Like, Tuskegee taught me so much. I met so many people. The internship opportunities. Would I have gotten to intern at the Medical College of Georgia if I went to a different school? Tuskegee has really prepared me, I feel like, for me personally, for a life outside of Tuskegee. I'm not going to say, you know, because medical school is going to be tough, and so I don't think that the rigor of Tuskegee has prepared me for medical school's rigor. No school can, right? But in terms of just my experience as a college student, it's unmatched. I wouldn't change my experience for the world. Like, I got to be an RA for 3 years, and I loved it. Another video for another day, but I absolutely love college. Like, I love it. Favorite TV show or movie? Everybody who knows me knows my favorite show. So on the count of 3, we're gonna do a little countdown. The Bachelor. The Bachelor is my favorite, y'all. The Bachelor is my favorite show. Like, there's no show on this earth that compares to The Bachelor. Actually, I will say, I just got into it like maybe a couple months ago, the haves and the have-nots. So if The Bachelor is here, the haves and the have-nots is like a close first. Like, they're head to head, okay? What will my next video be about? This was my last question. I have a lot of ideas, and I don't want to say one specific thing and then I change my mind last minute, but just know we gonna have fun in the next video, okay? So if you guys have anything that you want to see in my videos, any comments, questions, concerns, comment down below or message me on Instagram. My Instagram is gonna be listed somewhere on this screen. But if you watched it to the end of this video, thank you so much for supporting me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video.